What's up, guys? Welcome to this video on Elvis is the Man. So I'm about to reread, actually for the third time, Ginger Alden's book. Now, I haven't read it in a few years, and when I read it for the first time, I was a bit skeptical. Like, I didn't really know what to expect. You know, you hear some good things, some bad things, don't really know what to believe. But I read the book, and it was probably my most favorite time reading an Elvis book. I highly recommend her book. And I'm going to be reading again, like I said, and I just happened to come across an old video I did talking about Elvis's relationships in the 70s. And I wanted to re-upload this portion that I spoke about Elvis and Ginger. I think it's pretty good, and it expresses my thoughts on the matter. And it's at the end of a very long video, so not a lot of people stick around till the very end, unfortunately. So I don't think a lot of people actually saw this. So I'm going to re-air it, and I hope you guys enjoy it and find a lot of interesting points about some of the insights that I bring out here. So comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about this. And like I said, I'm about to reread this book, and I was like actually sad when I came to the ending of it a few years ago. So I look forward to reading it again, and here's the video.
So now we get to November 1976. I also like this because when Elvis really got emotionally happy, he'd give better shows. And he was in a new relationship with Ginger, and he gave great shows in December in Las Vegas and even better ones on the road in late December 1976. We all know about December 30th, Atlanta, we know Pittsburgh, New Year's Eve. He gave great shows because he was so excited about his new relationship with Ginger. Now, there was some problems with that relationship because I believe it was because of their age difference. I'm reading the book by Dr. Nick called The King and Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick says Elvis was very insecure about his relationship with Ginger, and he didn't understand why she didn't want to be on the road with him all the time and why she seemed to be a little more independent. He says that she would be gone when Elvis woke up in the morning. She didn't always want to go on tour with him. When she did go on tour, a lot of times she wanted her family to be there, like in Las Vegas. Elvis didn't like the fact that she didn't always want to be like on him like a blanket all the time. You know, she was more independent, and Elvis was very insecure about that. Dr. Nick even says that he had his security watch her to see if, was she cheating on me or what? And she says, Dr. Nick says that, you know, he didn't like that in Elvis, but at that point in his life, maybe he was a little more insecure. And I remember even in the documentary series, Elvis, All the King's Men, where the Memphis Mafia would talk about Elvis throughout his life. I remember Marty Lacker says that there was problems with that relationship in some areas. And Marty told him basically, you know, she's a lot younger than you. She wants to go to the clubs and this and that. But, you know, you're 41, 42, and you've been there, done that. That doesn't interest you anymore. She doesn't want to stay home. And so Elvis kind of went through a lot of emotional energy. Now, Elvis was reportedly engaged to Ginger at his time of death. I believe it was January when he proposed to her. Some people dispute this, but I think it's probably true. Elvis took one of the diamonds from his TCB ring and had an engagement ring made from it and proposed to her in his bathroom. Now, a lot of people have said that, you know, if Linda was with Elvis the day Elvis died, Elvis would still be here. And, you know, I think that's unfair to Ginger because, you know, she was young and she wasn't, you know, she was asleep when the incident happened. Judging from the books I've read on Death of Elvis, it was like an instantaneous death, and she couldn't have done anything to save him. And I think that's a lot to put on somebody. What actually I found that happened was that Elvis's aides were told reportedly by Elvis, you know, to leave me alone. Elvis told him, leave me alone, don't bother me, I'm going to be in my bathroom. And his aides weren't checking on him. If his aides would have been checking on him, you know, maybe they could have caught him after it happened. Like I remember in the book I just did a review on, that the maids heard a loud thud around like 9-10 a.m., but they were instructed not to check, or else maybe they would have. I just think it's too much to put on one person. You can't point the blame on anybody. It has to be put on Elvis, or maybe the natural causes, things that were out of his control. Now, Ginger came out with a book that I really, really like. I definitely recommend it. It's probably in my top 3 Elvis books. She talks, like, I couldn't put it down. It's been a while since I've read it, so I can't remember every single point. I probably will reread it and give a review of it. But like, she really shows that Elvis wasn't so depressed in 1977 as maybe we believed, that he was actually in better spirits than we've thought. And also, I remember her saying that Elvis, like I talked about in Elvis's Last Vacation in May 1977, or March, that he wasn't actually as overweight as what we thought. It was just a lot of water retention. The suits weren't flattering to him. But that was a good book, and I really recommend you all check it out. And another thing about the books, like, sometimes we have books that contradict what other people have said. Oh, which one's true? That's true, that's true. You know, maybe it could be that, you know, most of it is true, but it's like Elvis had his relationship with Linda, and then he had his relationship with the guys. Well, Elvis would act different towards his girlfriend than he would around the guys. So Elvis would tell a girlfriend something, and then he'd go and say something to the guy, and it could both be true, but it'd just be different emotions that Elvis was having. And then they all write their books, and then we have conflicting stories about different issues when they could all be true somewhat, but just different perspectives. Like in the Bible, you have the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Some people think, oh, they're contradicting each other, but they're just given different points of view on the same story as they see it. So anyway, I hope you've liked this little rundown of some of Elvis's, the biggest relationships that he had in the 70s.
All right, guys, now to answer the question, will Ginger be in this Elvis movie, this blockbuster Elvis movie coming out June 24th? I think that she will be. Now, there are a few reasons that I could point to that would give me this conclusion, one of which is that we see Linda is in the movie. I believe that is the person that's sitting alongside Elvis in the back of the limo, where Elvis is waving goodbye to Lisa. And also, there's a website talking about props that will be in the movie. And we see one of the props was the Coca-Cola cups, the paper cups that are used during Unchained Melody. Now, I do think that the Unchained Melody scene will be in this movie, so why would Ginger not be along there? You know, because this is talking about June 1977. If they're going to talk about, you know, that CBS special there, then I think that she'd be along with it also. I think this movie is going to be great. I think it's going to be what us fans have been wanting to see and been waiting for. I think Ginger and Linda will both be in it, and I just so look forward to this. I know I'm even buying this on Blu-ray when it comes out. So that's my video here today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also learned something and got some entertainment from it as well. We'll talk to you guys in the comments.